Hey guys, it's me again, and in today's video, we make this. I hope you guys liked the video. I actually posted this video on my Instagram a couple days ago and I got a really good feedback. Some of them even asked how I did it. So here it is. Here's the video. We're going to recreate the same effect. What we're going to learn in this video is the process of how we made that 3D environment of the space and how we transition from the real world to the 3D space. We'll also learn a great technique which I used to make this moon and rotate it in 3D space without using any external plugin or external 3D software. Keep in mind that this whole effect is done all in After Effects without any third-party plugin. The only point where I used a third-party plugin was to create that angel halo above the subject's head, and for that I used Element 3D. It's a really easy process. If you want me to cover it, I can make another video about it, but considering that this is not actually the part of this effect, so we're not going to cover it in this video. So without wasting any more time, let's get to it. So the first thing that you need is a stable footage with movement in it. If the video isn't stable, drop in a warp stabilizer effect and it will do the work for you. If the warp stabilizer effect does not work, then you're on your own. I don't know you, you don't know me. Now drop your footage into your After Effects composition. Now duplicate this layer by pressing Ctrl D. Call the new layer Track Layer. Now drop an Unsharp Mask effect on the track layer. Increase the radius and amount so that you find some contrast points in your layer. Now the footage has been rendered useless for your video, but keep in mind this is only to help your camera tracker find some contrast points so that it tracks the scene perfectly. Now what you're going to do is pre-compose the track layer. Right click on the layer and click on pre-compose, name it track pre-comp. Now go into the tracker option. If you don't see it, go into Windows and select tracker. Go and click on track camera. Go into the effects control panel and select detailed analysis in one of the drop down menus. Now let the camera tracker do its work. Now after the camera tracker has done its work, click on the camera tracker in the effects control panel and you will see all these track points on your screen. Now choose a couple track points which are in the scene sort of throughout the video and select all of them and right click, create new solid and camera. Now disable the track pre-comp and you'll still have your tracking data in your AE camera. Now what you're going to do is duplicate your original layer once again and call it subject layer. Now in the subject layer, what we're going to do is separate the subject from our background. For that, you can either mask out your subject frame by frame or you can rotoscope it by using the rotoscope tool. Whatever you find easier, use that. Now you'll have two layers. One is the original footage and second is the footage with your subject only. To create the space environment, you'll need to add your space behind your subject layer. For that, you can go to Google and search for some high definition space images and download them and use it in your project files. Bring your space layer in your composition and put it under your subject layer. Now convert your space layer into a 3D layer by pressing this button right here. Bring out the position values by pressing P. Now move your space layer behind in Z space like a lot and bring in your rotation values by pressing R and change the rotation to create a sort of parallax between the subject layer and the space layer. Now increase the size of your space layer so it covers your whole screen. Duplicate the space layer by pressing Ctrl D and change the Z value of your new space layer by a little bit so that there's a parallax between the original space layer and the new space layer. Now change the blending mode of your new space layer to add or screen, whatever works better with your image. Now comes the part where we make the transition. Now if you remember from the original video that the transition sort of happened with the radial wipe, where a white solid wiped across the screen revealing the space layer behind it. Now to animate the ring, first we have to make the ring. To make the ring, create a new white solid by pressing Ctrl Y and selecting the white color. Now make a circular mask on this white solid. Create another mask which is smaller than the original mask and change the blending mode of the smaller mask to subtract so that it makes a ring. Now pre-comp this solid and call it a ring wipe or whatever you want. Now turn this pre-comp into a 3D layer. Put it behind your subject layer so that it looks like a halo coming from behind it. Now what you have to do is orient it in such a way that it matches the orientation of your subject to your camera. The next thing that you're going to do is click on the pre-comp and press S to bring out scale values. Change the scale to 0 at the point where you need to start the transition, and at the point where you need to end the transition, change the size to something that the ring has crossed the screen so that it creates a wipe across the screen. Now what you're going to do is move your space layers behind your original footage so that when the original footage is wiped out, it reveals the space layer from behind it. For that, what you need to do is click on your original footage, choose your pen tool and create a mask around the ring that you just made and animate the mask path as the ring scales up. Now what you need to do is click on the stopwatch on the mask path option and animate the mask as the ring increases in size, so that when the ring increases in size, the mask does as well. Now to make it look a little bit dreamy, add a glow effect on your ring wipe layer so that it does not just look like a white solid, it looks something, otherworldly. Now I also added a meteor shower behind the subject. For that, what I did was downloaded stock footage from YouTube, which was free for use, and then I brought it into composition, turned it into 3D and put it between my space layers so that there's a little bit of depth between the meteor shower and the space layer. Now the last thing that's left is to add your moon, which I did all in After Effects. For that, what you need to do is go into Google and search for moon UV maps. You'll find an image like this, download it and bring it into your After Effects composition. Drop it into your composition and choose an effect called CC Sphere. Drop the CC Sphere on this layer and it will automatically convert your UV map into a 3D sphere. Now there are options that will help you rotate the moon in all axes, and it will also help you match the lighting of the scene to the moon, which will help it blend together with the scene. Okay, so now the base of your effect is all ready, and to blend all of this together, bring in an adjustment layer in the top and drop a glow effect on it. Change the threshold and the amount to something that matches your scene. Don't go overkill with the glow, it will ruin your scene. And about that fire behind the subject, all I did was downloaded a fire stock footage from YouTube, tinted it white, added some glow and placed it behind my subject, just to add some, weirdness to the scene. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like and comment on this video and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you next week where I summon light, if you know what I mean. See you in the next episode. Until next time, goodbye. Oh.